1957, Santa Clara County. With the birth of the semiconductor industry, prune farms and orchards began to disappear, and technology pioneers arrived daily. Fields were ripe for a different harvest in the sleepy community that would soon be known as Silicon Valley. Among the new arrivals in 1957 was the Jeffers family. They petitioned the Synod to start a church in Northern California.
Dear Mrs. Marge Jeffers, thank you for your letter and the clippings concerning the San Francisco Bay Area population growth. Unfortunately, there is little hope of immediate action. District Board of Home Missions, 1957.
Despite the obstacles, God blessed the effort, and in 1959 there was good news.
The mission board decided to give your call to Pastor Robert Hochmuth. He is a very fine missionary, about 35 years old. A fine man if we can get him.
I was called to the Bay Area, and I surveyed the Bay Area from Berkeley to San Jose and up the peninsula, and picked out a number of communities where there was no conservative Lutheran church. Meanwhile, San Jose is starting to grow like crazy, and it was like a jungle of rafters and joists.
The San Jose congregation, now 3 families, canvassed neighborhoods inviting children to a vacation Bible school held in a rented house. God blessed the effort. 55 children attended, only 3 from the existing group. More than half were not baptized. Many were hearing about Jesus for the first time. Encouraged, the group called Vicar John Monkey to work with Pastor Hochmuth, and they located a site on Santa Teresa and Blossom for a permanent building. The site was raw and remote, not yet on city power or plumbing, but the purchase was made, and God's grace is obvious in the choice. As the group waited for the city to install utilities, they met in a series of rented sites. Pastor David Valesky accepted the call to be their first pastor. He found them meeting at Frontier Village Amusement Park, but he didn't wait for a traditional building to invite others.
Wife and I and the 3 kids were early members of Apostles. We moved into this area in 1965 and joined the church as it was starting. Been continuous members of it ever since.
How we got to come to Apostles to begin with is Pastor Valesky had just been called as a mission church here. And he called on us once, and I think Howard firmly told him we weren't interested in becoming Lutherans. So he did not give up with his high energy that he had. And he called on us 2 more times, and we decided to try it out. So we very nicely went to Frontier Village, which was happened to turn out to be a wonderful place to begin to worship.
Well, there was Indian teepees, there was a fort, and it was always a common joke because our church started in the Silver Dollar Saloon. And so we met in the upstairs room of the Silver Dollar Saloon.
It was an exciting time, and God blessed the congregation. In 1968, with more than 150 children enrolled in Sunday school, God blessed members of Apostles in a surprising way.
And we found a school that was going to be demolished by a freeway and included the moving cost onto our property for $30,000. There was 5 classrooms. They cut it into 3 pieces, brought it down Monterey Highway, and set it into place.
It was an unexpected blessing and expense, but God continued to provide. Local construction workers donated cement work.
They were supposed to come by when they had a excess in the load. I came down here one day and they had trucks and rollers, and I said, wait a minute, we can't afford this. They said, that's okay. The boss says it's for a church, it's on us. So, and one day we had walkways all around here and part of the parking lot poured. And
Apostles Lutheran School opened in 1970 with 48 students, and Mark Sprengler installed as principal. God blessed the effort. By 1984, 215 children were enrolled. Many are members of Apostles to this day.
When I left Apostles in 1984, about 41% of all of the new members came in either directly or indirectly through the school. So the school has served as a good mission arm, and it's also served as a very excellent tool for nurturing the members' children, helping to parents to bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord.
Through good times and challenges, God's blessings have continued to flow at Apostles. We remember the people and the work of 50 years. Today, we thank God for our pastors. We thank God for our principals and teachers. We rejoice in God's abundance and blessing on our congregation. And we thank God for opportunities to serve.
No doubt about it that the Lord still wants to reach people even in this unsettled age that we're living in. And He promises that His Word is going to be effective, and He can work through people like us, whatever our shortcomings are. He can use us. Let's be His instruments, and let our life be somebody else's remembrance in the future.
Today, we celebrate half a century of grace, and we renew our commitment to know, go, and grow. We must never get weary or complacent, but renew ourselves in Christ and carry on the work of sharing the Word in our neighborhood and beyond with fresh courage, eagerness, and joy. May God continue to bless our efforts to know Him, to go and share the gospel, and to grow.